Uh, I hope everybody is having a good day. I am ready to get some crochet done. How about the rest of y'all? You want to do anything? Something creative? Ready to paint? Um, I'm looking on the chat, and Eva is here. I hear a tiny little echo, y'all. Trying my best. Eva was like, "Is this today?" And then I clicked it, and it wasn't live, and I was like, "Oh, not today." And then it said 7 minutes. So, yes. Hello, sweetie. Hi. Um. Oh, and then Maggie's here. Hello, sweetie. It's lovely to have you. What are we going to get done today? Anybody want to like just chill or do something fun and creative? Um. So what I was thinking of making today is the tarot deck holder. Here's the tarot deck that my brother bought for himself, and then I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." And I know I still feel a little bad. Anyway, I was gonna crochet like a holder for it that holds the deck. Plus, it allows I don't know what it's actually called, but I call it a 3-car spread. Oh well. So that's what I got, and then here is my yarn because I thought it would go really well. Yeah. With this, what do you think? I just felt variegated today. That's what I'm gonna say. So anyhow, let's see. Maggie's like, happy December 85th, 2020. It does kind of feel that way, doesn't it? Oh, goodness gracious. Eva says Mr. M's contract's in limbo again, so 2020 show is hangout. Yeah. Oh, Maggie says she's got some scribbling to do. That's cool. You gonna draw? But also, this bonus work time has been amazing. He's home and loving the lazy time with the kiddo. It's pretty awesome. Well, today I am by myself. So it is Glory Banter, and I do not know what's going to happen, but I hope I keep it up. Do I do readings? Okay, so I've done the total of 4. I am still very much learning. I'm really glad it comes with a little book inside. So, I mean, no, you're not wrong. It does kind of feel that way, doesn't it? And Tom's going to write some stuff. Hello, Tom. So I do have the other, I think it was the belly cam. I'm going to be honest. Like, it's like, welcome to the roly-poly potato lady. But let's see if I figure out, all right, and then this, there we go. Okay. So here is, figure out. Okay. And then, okay, there. Yes. I just needed to get it cast, get the show up on the TV so I can just make sure everything's still looking good. Alrighty. So, can you tell I still am not truly prepared? Let us find out the dimensions. Okay. All right. So we're going to do approximately 20. And then hope that this comes out. Thank you, Maggie. It's a very comfy shirt. Ooh, my eldest is thinking about drawing Kitsune Tarot Pack. That would be so cool. I love Kitsunes. Okay, so I'm going to chain 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Wrong one, Glory. Okay. Yeah, they're still given here, so this looks like it'll probably be okay. Because I wanted to include the book with the tarot deck because it said I have not memorized what all the cards mean. So, and then 2 more because I'm going to do double crochet. 1, 2. Come on. This is usually one of the harder parts for me is, I don't know, let me see, does it show it? So on one side of a chain, it looks like this. So it's almost kind of, to me, looks like a braid. On the back side, there's a third hump, or whatever people refer to as a third stitch. And that's what I am trying. I find that if I can get here this bit, if I can get it through this one on the back, that it tends to be more sturdy. Later. So, but it's not the easiest stitch to thread the hook into for me. Once I get the chain stitched through, all the next, all the rows after it are fine. It's just doing in this one partly because the chain is a little flimsy, for obvious reasons. And partly just because this stitch on the back end, or loop on the back, the loop on the back end, is a little bit tighter than most regular stitches. And it's just how a chain is. Also, for some reason, I have never worked with this particular skein of yarn before, and I am here to say this baby likes to split. I've had it try to split on me 3 times, and in one row, and that's kind of interesting. Like, normally most of the yarns I use don't split this much, but oh well. Still like it. It's pretty. Split again. To me, it looks kind of like mermaidy, or like layers of the ocean. Mm-hmm. Last stitch. Okay, so let me do it from here. You got the chain row here, and then the first row of double crochet. Wish it kind of, let me see if I can check on the color. Ooh, it's so blown out. Let me see. Yeah, the camera just does not quite do the color justice. It's a little bit better. But yes, these beautiful greens and blues, and they blend through. Okay. So anyway, there we are. And then turn, chain 2, and then crochet again. Do it another row. All right. So, how is everybody today? I had a nice meeting today with someone who wanted to do like a collaborative workshop on like for author tubers. So we talked about that, and then we still didn't didn't know each other super well. So we also mostly just chit chatted about getting to know each other, talking about our experiences as writers and editors, and we talked about audiobooks, and we just had such a nice little conversation. I love getting to know new people. It is one of the highlights, I think. I've just started this skein. As I said, I've never used it before, and the yarn isn't coming out easily yet, so I'm having to pull, but soon it will. Oh, tell me, does anyone else who crochet have this struggle? Like, it's that last stitch, especially in the beginning, of figuring out, okay, is this the actual stitch? But when you get it right, it looks a little square, and that's how you know you got it right. And then turn, chain 2, and start a new row. Okay. Oh, CB's here, and Kat is here. Hello, Kat. Hello, CB. It is lovely to see y'all. Oh, Maggie says that they can make a hat out of that yarn. Yeah, it's kind of an older skein. I've had this for literally years. It's called Peacock Tails. And let's see. Oh, let's see. CB says, I've been trying to learn to crochet for ages. I tried to crochet for literally decades. And just, it never quite came together for me. And then a coworker of mine was teaching herself to crochet and offered to teach me. And all she did was go over the basic stitches. In America, we call them chain, which I just did. Y'all saw that. And single crochet, half double, and double crochet. And she said that's pretty much all you really need, that and slip stitch. I think that they're called a little bit differently in the UK. But they have the same names. They just mean different things, which is super confusing for me. But I don't know why, but it finally clicked when my coworker was showing me versus all the people before. So at some point, it just finally starts clicking in your head and you enjoy it. I think also it helped that she just had a very nice, easy way of teaching it since she had just learned, like literally a handful of months before. and as well as her enthusiasm of it's just so enjoyable, and she's so good at it. I mean, she was truly a natural at it. I would not say I'm a natural at this. I enjoy it. I love making things. I love when they're done. But like I don't have that lovely fluffy tension like some people do. And I'm not super fast like some people are. I'm just sort of, I plod away. We're just turning, chain two, start a new row. So I think it's a unique experience for each person, but I think once you learn, either the person, you found somebody who can teach you the same way that you think, or maybe, I don't know, maybe our brains are just finally ready. But when it clicks together, learning crochet, it really clicks, and then it's like, oh look, I can be my own in-house factory. I can manufacture all sorts of things. And that is one of the things I love about crochet. I love the colors of yarn and the textures, but I also love just being able to make all these lovely little accessories. I can make my own hats, and not just beanies, but all sorts of exciting kinds of hats with brims and things. And I can make my own gloves and scarves. I can make a tarot deck holder, which is kind of fun and neat. So I love that aspect of it. Plus, as I said, there's such a lovely collection of yarns, colors now, and yarn textures. I love how soft yarns are. When I was a kid and learning basic crochet stitches, the yarns were not soft, at least not the ones that my mother bought, and I found it very uncomfortable sensory wise. But now, like, this yarn is so soft. I mean, it is velvety soft. I love it. So that really helps with the experience for me. It's just such an enjoyable experience texture wise. I love touching the yarn and feeling the yarn slowly run through my fingers, and that is definitely something I enjoy about it. So I'm very careful to be sure to feel the yarns before I buy them, so I can be sure that I will have an enjoyable experience. Because when they're rough or they're too stiff, it takes all the fun out of crocheting for me. Even when the yarn is very pretty, it's not enough. I love the visuals, but I need it to be so soft. And this is just velvety lovely. It's just like, I love running my fingers here. Oh, let's see. Megan's here. Hello, sweetie. It's lovely to see you. And wait, it jumped. Oh, StreamYard. Okay. Maggie says I need to read more of my books onto my channel. I would definitely agree. Blinker Bell is moving tiny boxes around. Are you still working on the database? So I'm slow to chat and it feels weird. It's okay. Yes, if anybody would like to join me on screen and just chat, that would be awesome. Avatar mode is totally cool with me. Maggie says I drop stitches like rappers drop the curse words. Oh, I love that. Drop stitches. Good old crochet hooker jokes. Yep. I learned I was much better at knitting when I was a teenager. And yeah, like 15 years later, I finally got into crocheting, like where it finally clicked. Oh, it truly did jump again. Kat says it clicked when my stepmom and my dad helped me, but not when my mom tried. Yep, my mom was the one who originally taught me, and it just did not click. I'm sorry to say. And Maggie says, I used to teach people to crochet left-handed as well as right-handed, and then I had a stroke and struggled to make my right hand make the stitches down. I mean, I guess it's a good thing that you know how to do it left-handed, because if you really want to, you can still do it that way. CB says, I can knit, but I can't purl. So with my knitting, Mom taught me to knit, but she never taught me to purl. And so I just kept knitting skeins and skeins, just these enormous scarves. It was the oddest thing, but it was still fun. Megan's gone over to YouTube because Twitch is just too glitchy for her. And Maggie says, my grandma used to wash acrylic yarns in Dreft or Woolite before she crocheted or knitted with them. I've heard, that's what people are doing with their old grandma's yarn. In that it's mostly the sizing used in the acrylic yarns that makes it so stiff or unpleasant to touch. That it's not the yarn itself, which that's good to know. Blinkerbell says, yes, I'm reworking the data sets to map from the forms without some middle steps. I didn't realize were middle steps. Well, I mean, we're streaming on 2 Twitch channels and the YouTube channels. So, as far as I'm concerned, find what you enjoy. Just gonna keep crocheting. Yeah. Hopefully we can find something for everyone. I was really hoping to be able to stream onto Instagram Live or Instagram TV, but it turns out that is not as friendly as I had hoped. So the learning curve continues. Oops. So, anything interesting happening in the news or anything? Let's see. What have I read lately? Well, no spoilers. I'm just saying I've enjoyed WandaVision quite a bit, and it is hard waiting the next, 2.5 days for the next episode of WandaVision. I'm just saying. Excuse me. So this is what it looks like so far. I do enjoy that sort of variegated look. I know a bunch of people who don't like the variegated, and apparently that has been a problem around here, is people don't like the variegated. Yarns, they like solid colors, and I'm like, but sending colors is so boring. But I can understand it, because like, I have mixed ambivalent feelings about variegated leaf colors or leaf patterns on plants. And I know that many people love that variegated look, but I'm sometimes like, it's okay. So I think it's just each aesthetic, what you enjoy. I'm really starting to get a feel for how Bob Ross felt painting and chatting on video. Let's see. CB says their exam is it Tuesday after next? How is it going? Are you able to study for it? And then we turn, chain 2, start a new row. What is, okay, CB, Tiger Woods is injured because he was in an RTA, but it's not serious. What is an RTA? Because when I see TA, I think Transit Authority, but I imagine that's not what that is. How is the opera stuff? Well, I had a meeting last Friday with the composer, and we chatted about time and how, because well, like we were talking about the poetry. I had shared some poetry with him, and that's what is the inspiration for the opera. And so we talked about how time plays out, as well as other aspects of dissociative disorder. It's because emotions aren't necessarily processed the same way. So feelings can, or even memories, can be bottled up and not be revisited for months, years, even decades. And so when they are finally revisited, as it's a very optional thing to do, they are as fresh as the day they were bottled up. And so it's kind of a different experience than most people. I've learned most people do not have that option, even if they wanted it. Versus, so by the way, I'm starting a new row, chain 2, start crocheting. So I'm learning that most people have to experience the moment, in the moment. They don't have an option to bottle it up, put it away, keep moving forward. And so it can make it difficult for them to deal with a crisis in the moment. Versus I can just visit it later at my convenience. And so we pretty much just literally sat on Zoom and discussed that for honestly hours. As well as that time moves differently, or can move differently for me, because I can move forward and backward in time in that respect. So we are still at the very beginning plans for it. As well as we are approaching the opera from a style, don't know where that fiber's from, that I think is very, conducive to dissociative disorder. So, it's just moving along as it does. I think, like, essentially, the developmental phase can look kind of scatterplot-ish at the beginning. And we're just sort of riding that zeitgeist of two creative people talking about inspiration and thoughts and philosophy. And we'll eventually get to music more. Also, I am still going through typing up the poems as I find more that are specifically about dissociative experiences, which, by the way, I started a new row, chain 2, and started crochet. Let's see, things have... CB says, I haven't even started watching WandaVision yet. This Friday will be episode 8, and there's one more. So, if you want to do binge, wait, not this Friday, but next Friday. And then you'll be able to start watching the whole thing from start to finish. CB says, I think I'm going to start binge watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this weekend, and then on Tuesday of next week, and then I'll watch WandaVision the day after my exam. Good idea. CB says, I haven't touched my clarinet since Sunday. Road traffic accident. Oh, okay. So Tiger Woods had a road traffic, but he's okay now. Good to know. Haven't touched your clarinet since Sunday. Have you been working on a piece to play? Or how is the clarinet going? I almost played clarinet when they were figuring out instruments for every student in middle school, because I only joined the middle school band, so I didn't have to be in PE. They didn't even let us shower, give us enough time to shower after PE, and I'm like, ew, I don't want to. No. And they gave me the option of trombone or clarinet or flute. And I'm going to be honest. The mean girls had all congregated with the flutes and the clarinets. So I was like, I'll take trombone. Although I do not regret it, because I very much enjoyed my time with the other trombonists. The other kids playing trombone, they were all really sweet and kind. Honestly, they were like puppies with trombones. Very kind people. Eva, you play trombone? That's awesome. Clarinet exam. So is this for some sort of like coursework for clarinet, or some sort of qualification to join? I don't know. I have no idea what a clarinet exam would be, unless you're getting a degree in clarinet or something. Starting a new row, chaining 2, and here we go. It counts, Eva. 5th grade counts. It's real time. Our school band didn't start till 6th grade, so. And honestly, that's how Tom ended up playing trombone too, because Mom was like, we bought one instrument, we're good. So I had to let Tom play the trombone. So I had to stop playing for several years. Now he and I have 2 trombones. Are either of us playing the trombone? No. That will probably change in the next year or 2, though. What I used to do when we were teenagers was I used to take other duet pieces and adapt them for 2 trombones to play. So because I really love the sound of 2 trombones playing. I think it's beautiful. So, since we both have trombones, I found some old musicals that are out of copyright, and I'll probably start reviewing them in the next, I say a few weeks, but let's be brutally honest here, it'll probably be a few months. And I'll start reviewing them and see if any of the pieces from musicals that I found kind of spark that interest, and then do an adaptation so we can both play. And then we will have to practice. Thankfully, where we live, nobody is around during the day, so the neighbors more than likely won't complain. Maggie says, I love being in the brass section of the band. I couldn't play trombone because I was too short. That did not stop me. My arms are too short to play trombone. I came up with some interesting techniques. CB says, no, it's grade 2. If I want to get good enough to play in the orchestra, I have to get up to grade 5 and get up to grade 4 theory. Very interesting. Eva says, I didn't continue after 5th. It was free, like it had been in the state we moved from. And I only got 5th grade because the elder sib had flute or something. I wanted to play saxophone too. And no one told me that clarinet leads to saxophone, or I would have gone into clarinet. And in fact, I even told my band teacher, I wanted to play saxophone. He's like, well, here, play trombone. And I'm like, eh. Oh well. But like, it wasn't going to work out because our family could only afford one instrument, period. So I wasn't going to get sax. So I figured that out in the second year. Eva says, now I'm good just knowing how to finger peck the piano. I like to think that it never truly leaves our muscle memory. We just have to practice to get back into it. That's what I like to think. It makes me feel better anyway. CB says, I want to learn to play the alto sax as well as the clarinet. I bet that would be lovely. I do love the saxophone. Maggie says, I played all the other brass instruments except French horn. I hated the way the vibration of the French horn felt. You know, I noticed that too. Are you talking about on your lips? Yeah, if I remember correctly, I didn't like how the French horn felt on my lips. It was very buzzy. I don't know. It wasn't for me. CB says my cousins used to play clarinet in high school. Maggie says I tried to learn guitar, violin, and cello, but the goddess of string instruments liked to laugh at me. Ah. CB says I used to play violin. I was terrible at it. I mean, I do not have hand-eye coordination. Y'all should see me with a cigar box guitar. There is literally only 3 strings, and I'm still not doing it right. I love to make them. I absolutely love to create cigar box guitars. I am no good at playing them. Has that stopped me? No. I will still strum on those babies because traditional cigar box guitars, in Mississippi anyway, they were strung with mason twine instead of guitar strings. Is that what it's called? Guitar strings. And mason twine is much softer on the fingers to play than guitar strings. Also, guitar strings are actually expensive. You have to pay for them versus there's tons of mason twine. And mason twine, in the short term, you can string pretty tight. It's quite durable. So, all right, here we are so far. It's kind of turning out. Looks nice. It's all washcloths. Let's see. Maggie said that was so bad. My cello teacher begged me to quit. And you listened versus terrorizing your poor teacher. I do love a cello. Like, seriously, I can be wooed with a cello. I love cello music so much. I have literally listened to some cello music live, like when a cellist is just playing for me, and it has brought me to tears. It's so beautiful. I just love the sound of a cello. Evie says, I used to guitar as well. Had to stop because of my wrist. Yeah. I had to stop crocheting for almost a year because of my wrist. Till I healed well enough. Eva says, I strum on a guitar we have that no one can play. The toddler loves it. Someday he won't, and I'll be sad. Aw. Maybe you'll get better. Maggie says, I was in love with the flamenco guitar music, and I wanted to learn so much. If only the goddess of string instruments would shine upon all of us. Sleepy says, when I used to play violin, I broke my D string, and my mother said, just as well it wasn't your G string. Silly puns. But that is what I like about twining with mason guitar. Not mason. Why am I talking? Twining with mason twine, stringing up the guitar with mason twine, it has a lovely warm sound. And if it does pop, it's quite soft on the fingers and the face. Like I had mason twine break on me one time on the guitar, the Starbucks guitar, and it did not leave a mark on me, unlike with guitar strings that do. So I am a fan of mason twine, y'all. Just turn, chain 2, and then start over. Here we go. Maggie, how are the goats doing? Let me just, I'm going to try to move the string over here. Okay. Megan says, I missed my violin. I sold it a couple years back. You know, you never know when the universe will bring another violin into your life. The trombone that I got when I was in 6th grade and then Tom played after me, it had died a terrible death. But I don't know, gosh, it was more than 10 years ago, like maybe 15 years ago. I missed my trombone. So I went over to the local music instrument store. They were actually the original ones I had bought my original trombone to. And I brought the wreck of the trombone that Tom had in custody. That's all I'm going to say. And I was like, look, is there anything we could do? And the guy in the back at the music store, and the one who repairs trombones, repairs all the instruments, was like, this trombone is dead. I can give you a little bit of a trade-in, and maybe we can make one. And so we made a Frankenstein trombone. We literally put it to parts together. They are not, the parts of the trombone are not even the same brand. And but he let me just stay there for a couple hours as I tried out all the different parts of trombones sitting around in essentially the junkyard of the store. Turn, chain 2, and start a new row. And I just kept trying parts till I found a sound I liked, and then he gave me a really good deal. Like much nicer deal than he probably should have. So it was very affordable. Very affordable. It was not a trigger trombone, though, which is my ultimate goal. But, I'll take a basic trombone for now. So, I'm just saying, you never know when another violin might come to you and need a good home. Just throwing that out there. Tom's going to go work on dinner. Yeah, what are we having for dinner? CB says, I over-tightened the peg on the violin. And that's how the string broke. I broke several clarinet reeds, and I nearly put one through my lip once, thankfully. I noticed it had split and changed it out. Yes, you can actually split your own lip with a clarinet reed. Eva says, I just want to get a music tutor for the child to learn either piano or violin. Yeah, in the vaccine era. Yes, I agree. I do actually know, though, several people who are doing instrument music lessons over Zoom. One of my friends, she plays flute and she composes flute music for flutes. And right now she is teaching a child to play the slide whistle. And I'm like, I had no idea children were still learning the slide whistle. But this kid is learning. Is it a scarf? Is it a tarot deck holder? It could be anything. Maggie says the goats are good. We have 48 degrees Fahrenheit today, and they are happy to be running around. The baby goats are getting so big. The orphans are more interested in feed than bottle. They are ready to wean. That sounds good. CB says I used to play the glockenspiel. Oh, that is awesome. That is really awesome. Oh, Tom says we're having chicken matzo ball soup. Sounds yummy to me. CB says I do my lessons over Zoom. Is it a washcloth? Eva wants to know. Well, so far, It's actually going to be a tarot deck holder, but not for like the whole box, for the deck itself and the book. And then there'll be enough room when the holder is laid out on a table or a surface to also have 3 cards. You know, I just thought that would be nice. I love the warmth that yarn lends to things. Some surfaces can seem quite cold, and crochet yarn just gives it such a hominess, a warmth to it. Let's see. Tom's dicing up veggies. Maggie says, we bought a violin for the eldest, and hubby taught her some, but she was oversensitive to the vibration being so close to her face. So she gifted it to a family that was renting a violin for their girl. And Maggie says, I'm making chicken and cabbage soup tonight. That sounds delicious. CB says, I bought my first tarot deck today, a Golden Girls one. Oh, yes, the Golden Girl got you too. I know. Isn't that deck so gorgeous? Oh, I loved it. It's so beautiful. I hope you enjoy it, CB. And by the way, CB, since you do like knitting, you could knit a very similar pattern. Any yarn you like, but you could crochet a very similar tarot deck holder for your tarot deck. Just throwing it out there. If you should so want. Eva thinks they're ordering churches tonight. Very nice. And turn and chain 2. I have taught Tom everything I know about excellent chicken soup. And now he is riffing on the ideas. I can't wait to eat it. Churches sounds delicious. Eva, I agree. It has been such a pretty day. I think today's high is like 71 here. I mean, it's a little warm for me for winter. What are you going to do? Megan's talking about it's been such a pretty day. Not too hot, not too cold. Very nice. CB says, I got it because I finally managed to get the refund for my ticket for Riverdance. Oh, very nice. I rebooked it for October this year. It was originally supposed to be May 6th last year. Yes, I remember you mentioning about that. CB says it's been wild here, pouring with rain and really, really windy all day. Ooh. I mean, it sounds on brand for Scotland. Eva says 62 degrees here. Yeah, I know. Like last Tuesday, I was home crocheting, streaming, because the pipes were frozen and the roads were all frozen in nearly the entire state. Just turning and chain 2. So, and then this Tuesday, today, it's like a high of 71. And last Tuesday, I think we had a high of like 25 degrees. I mean, talk about some serious climate change problems. Climate change, not change. Maggie says, I saw a deck I want so much. It's called the Dreamland Fantasy Tarot Deck. Oh, very cool. Maggie says, we are having the warm before the snow tomorrow afternoon. Oh, is another cold front coming through? CB said, my mother said it was 81 degrees in Houston today, and last week it was -8 and freezing. Yes. CB, I meant to ask you yesterday, has your mother gotten water back? Or did she get one of those terrible electric bills for like thousands of dollars? Ugh, those articles about what's going on with the Texas power grid and deregulation. I'm not happy about it. So worried about people. Maggie's posted another link to another interesting deck. I cannot wait to click on them. I'm gonna look it up. CB says, yeah, she has water and power back and internet, thankfully. Oh, I'm so glad. I was wondering about how your mom was doing. I mean, children were literally freezing to death. It was just terrible. Absolutely senseless. Senseless death. Nobody needed to die. So here we are so far. Do y'all see now why I'm like, it's so pretty? Okay. Got a ways to go. Let's see if... Come on. Just looking to see if I can find a note of how long the deck is. Or, I mean, the deck holder. No, the directions are just like, fold it over, and then, make sure you have enough room for 3 more, and then a tail. Okay. I think I have a ways to go. Yeah, CB, I hope your mom can make it this year. I mean, we travel as it is right now. Okay, I just need to know. Boop-a-doo-doo-doo. Okay. Looks like we've pretty much got a nice pocket for it, and then maybe like 2 rows beyond. This is upside down. This is the deck. That was upside down. Can you tell I've actually shuffled these babies? Everybody back in the pool. CB says we're not getting anything like out of lockdown here till the end of April, unfortunately. Megan says, my boyfriend got his vaccine today. That's awesome. And it looks like I may be able to get the vaccine somewhat soon as well. Oh, that's fantastic. CB says, my mom is getting her second one on Thursday. Very nice. That is awesome. I'm so happy. We have our appointments for vaccine almost a week, a little bit over a week from now for the first vaccination. So hopefully I will be fully vaccinated and have time to build up a full immunity, since it takes 2 weeks after your second vaccination at least. So I'll be fully vaccinated by my birthday month in May. Yay! Maggie says, there is a site I really like, but I haven't bought anything from them. The Tarot Kingdom. They have bunches of different decks. They even have an Edgar Allan Poe deck. Very nice. See, because I was hoping there would be an Avengers Tarot deck, but no. Yeah. Sometimes some people are slow to understand what the market requires. Yeah, I agree. Like an Avengers, or at the very least, an Iron Man tarot deck would be just perfect for CB. I think that this is going to be the row that I take a break after. It's like I can feel this area tightening up, and I need to stretch. How is everyone's creative projects doing? Tom's moved on to dicing vegetables. How's the database for Eva? And see, I think Maggie said that she was maybe going to be sketching or drawing. I'm not sure. And Megan. And Stevie's like, I'm supposed to be writing. I know the feeling. I do enjoy switching gears. It's nice from writing. Like I was actually writing earlier today. So here we are so far. Switch over there. And this is what I do so that I don't have a slip stitch, because that drives me nuts. I love this, how it looks. I enjoy that. Ooh, stretch break. Just a quick reminder, I have hypermobility, which means I am very flexible, and that not everybody necessarily is as flexible as me. So please don't feel like anybody needs to stretch like I stretch. But if you do want to stretch out your wrists, I recommend, so what you're doing is imagine that you're drawing with your pinky, but have all your fingers out, and you draw. And then do the other way. Gently, just feeling your hands, just feeling your muscles, and just allowing your muscles to dictate how you want to stretch, what you want to tighten and loosen. Sure to get that full thumb mobility here. Motility. I guess really. Oh. Feel that neck. Just gently, not like pulling or anything, just allowing the weight of your head to just gently just kind of pull these neck muscles. Just, oh yeah. And just inhale. And then on the exhale, just allow those muscles to stretch a little bit. Just allow them to just go into a more natural position for them. Feel that lovely, just light stretch. Yes, that feels nice. I can feel it right here. Not pushing too far, just allowing like where it just feels right. Yep. Right here. And then back. Just allowing my neck muscles to just find their space where it's not too put much of a stretch, not too little. It just feels right. Just allow your shoulders. Inhale, and then allow your shoulders on the exhale to just drop just a little bit more into their natural position. That felt nice. Did it feel nice to you? Just lightly rubbing here. Like, hello. You've done great work. Good job. Yep. And just shifting my weight so that the hips, the pelvic muscles don't get too fatigued in one position. Let's see, Maggie says the Ethereal Visions deck is all Art Nouveau. Yeah, I love Art Nouveau. Isn't it so beautiful? Eva says it's actually going okay, but I've had to relay out some pages, so a bit tedious at the minute. Maggie says, the scribbles are going well. I just worked through a scene where the beta discovers his brother is dead and that his brother's true mate, having a vision about it, just saved him from being murdered. Well, I mean, that sounds pretty intense, really. Phoebe says, if my hand gets sore, I just do the exercise I did in physio a few years back. Excellent. Yes, I love stretching my hands. Although, as I said, like I do want to warn everyone, I am hypermobile. And so sometimes I have had other people try to just mimic, like in class and when I was in college, just mimic how I was moving my arms and hands. And, they kind of hurt themselves a little because they overextended. So I just wanted to say, be careful when following me because I'm sometimes a bit stretchier than most people. Okay. Oh, I remember. I wanted to make sure that I've got this coded right on Twitch. Yep, looks good. All right, so Oh, let me move the perspective back here. Okay. Here we are. Let's crochet. Chain 2 and then start a new row. Maggie says his alpha brother has a witch concubine. Oh my heavens. Because his oracle true wasn't powerful enough for him. So he built his true a moon oracle training temple to suit her vanity, but loves his son witch more. The witch's son is trying to usurp the pack from the oracle's son, who is their true heir. Ooh, that's some drama. There's so much drama going on. CB, how is the your food prep going? For Camp Nano, I think. Maggie says, all the drama but no llamas, werewolves and witches, and a war between the sun and the moon. So much going on. CB says, it's not going too badly. I'm going to get serious after my exam. Oh, sweet niblets, be our back. Forgot to take tomorrow's dinner out of the freezer. Oh, good point. Eva says, welp, it all worked. Excellent. That's wonderful. Do you want to share a link yet, or? Eva says, I'd be excited, but I've been here before. I'm skeptical. Yes, I understand. Red tape and tweak stage, then phone form. Okay, I understand. It's not quite ready to share. I get it. There is a local creamery, well, dairy farm. Local, it's like an hour or two's drive from here. But they distribute milk, and we haven't been able to get any of their milk now for a couple of weeks because of the weather, and also because closer to where they're located, that part of Mississippi still doesn't have running water, or at least a good part of the counties in the middle part of the state don't have running water. And so I imagine there may be some difficulties with, milk. Not that like the cows aren't making milk, although, wintertime they don't produce as much. But because without running water, you can't clean, let alone with clean running water. You can't really like scrub out the dairy. What is it called? Is it called a dairy parlor? That's right. there's several school systems that have had to go virtual in our state because they don't have safe running water at the schools. And that was going on from, the first winter storm, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago now? It's been a while. And I mean, like, these people, these families, like, and I'm not talking about like a few hundred houses or locations. I mean, literally tens of thousands of people in the middle of our state still do not have clean running water. And I'm not talking about the people who are under a boil water notice. I mean, like, they just don't have running water at all. I can only imagine how terrible it is. Let alone in winter. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, Maggie. I am actually quite slow. You should see Tom go. Tom is just lightning fast, and he's got these beautiful fluffy stitches I love so much, but I just don't have that kind of hand-eye control like he does. He's so quick. He's lovely to watch. I just can't get him to like stream with me yet, but maybe one day. Maybe we'll work on him. I don't know. Maggie says cows need a lot of water and they have their udders washed before being milked. Yep. And so, like, if you can't scour the dairy parlor before and after milkings and stuff, like, I don't know that they can do anything with that milk by law, because Mississippi has some rather restrictive milk laws because tuberculosis can be transmitted in cow milk. So it's literally illegal to sell unpasteurized milk, cow milk, not goat milk. Goat milk you can sell unpasteurized, but you can't sell cow milk unpasteurized unless you have been approved for making specific kinds of cheese, specific by age. Like, it has to age for a minimum of 2 months. I found this out about a decade ago when I was very interested in cheese making. I enjoy making cheese. And, Mom was dying. And my then husband had left me because I had spent too much time taking care of my mother. So I was going through a divorce. And I was sort of just at loose ends, career-wise. So I was looking into what could I do for my next career. Spoiler, I ended up becoming a librarian. But before that, I had heavily researched becoming a cheesemaker. And that's when I found, like, it's very difficult to get unpasteurized cheese or unpasteurized milk, in my state, even when you are approved to make cheese. But there are certain cheeses you can't really make adequately with pasteurized milk. Like, apparently there are actual issues with it. So, it's like, well, I guess we're making cheddar again, that sort of situation. Because I was like, well, maybe, as a boutique cheesemaker, maybe I can make some of the more difficult to source cheeses versus, a bunch of dairy farms are making, your more common cheeses like Monterey Jack, mozzarella, cheddar, that sort of thing. And that's how I found out, no, not in this state. We don't go for that because we absolutely cannot have. I mean, tuberculosis is pretty terrible. It's like, I promise I won't drink it. I'd even research like building a cheese shed for making cheese, for reals. With everything with steel interior so that I could truly scour it and use UVC light to sterilize everything. Yes, milk laws are crazy strict. Maggie says in Colorado, raw goat milk is only for animals and can't be sold but a person can buy a share of a goat or a goat herd and get the goat milk that way. I almost became a cheesemaker too, but the restrictions are so tight. The milking building, the barn, the cheese building, and the milk storage pasteurizing room all had to be completely separate buildings with separate power, water, and septic. That is so strange. Like, why would you need separate electric? I mean, yeah. In Mississippi, you can purchase unpasteurized goat milk since I don't know that goats can even transmit tuberculosis. I know that there are certain laws about if you're going to sell your goat milk to the public in any format, like as far as procedures, for cleaning udders and storage, just so that it's unlikely that outside bacteria or yeast can be introduced. However, like it's one of those, but if you store your goat milk by freezing it and then you sell it either frozen or thawed, then you actually don't have to deal with as many restrictions. Like it's kind of interesting that way. So I seriously thought about making goat cheese. However, there's only one goat herd in our area of the state, and the lady did not seem hospitable to me regularly purchasing goat milk. I don't know why. I'm like, I'll pay cash, but I don't know. So we just left them alone. We were just like, okay, well, who knows? Maybe it'll be the next career after the writing and everything. I mean, not that I'm going to stop writing, but Tom is very much interested in that. The La Mancha goats, they are quite cute. So maybe one day we'll get a little place out in the county. Glory will get her cheese shed, as well as obviously her milking shed. Somebody's got to milk those nannies. And he says, I would have to put 5 buildings on my farm, at least 20 by 20. Would they each have to be 20 by 20 feet? She says goats can catch it, but they don't transmit it. Yeah. And I'd like the state of Mississippi is mostly just concerned with people getting tuberculosis. I mean, like, as far as I know, because I had also researched chicken egg loss. Not as much interested in having lots of chickens. My dad grew up on an egg farm, but just I like chickens. I mean, I literally follow a bunch of chicken Tumblr accounts just because I want to look at people's chickens all the time. I mean, I just like chickens. They're so pretty. And they have such personalities. I just like them. And so I had inadvertently, because there's like several chicken Facebook groups like local to my area. And apparently there's like some sort of underground chicken trading community in my town that may or may not admit that they operate. I don't know. But apparently there are all sorts of regulations about chickens crossing state borders. And they are very serious about that. So I had inadvertently found out about that because the chicken Facebook groups were talking about it because somebody brought a chicken from Louisiana and the state of Mississippi, whoever's in charge of that was quite upset. It turned out that chicken did not have anything communicable. However, 3 or 4 months prior, somebody had crossed the state border from Texas, actually, with a whole truck of chickens that had not been properly tested And I mean, they were sick chickens. It did not go well. It was terrible. I want to say the chickens were from El Paso. Not saying anything about El Paso. It was like they crossed the width of Texas. Like it was. Anyway, so the state of Mississippi was quite up in arms about any chicken, even a single chicken, coming over because somebody would just brought it over for one of these. Apparently, they get together on Saturdays in various locations around the state. People do, and they just show off their pretty chickens. It's what they do for Saturdays. I mean, my biggest problem with it is that the one in town meets at 4 a.m. on Saturdays, and I'm like, but I want to sleep. So I just like looking at chickens. I love those Polish chickens with those crazy tops. Oh, they look like ladies wearing hats. And I love when they have the ruffled curly feathers in the back. So it looks like they have little petticoats on. It's so pretty. It's what I like. Just chickens. Let's see. Maggie says, buy goats with CAE, caprine autoimmune encephalitis. Oh, but goats with CAE, caprine autoimmune encephalitis, is a big deal because the live virus is in the milk and CAE reduces the goat's life by a third. Some people act like it's fine, but others say no. Oh, that sounds very interesting. CB says, I stole sweet niblets from Hannah, Montana. It's cute. I like it. Maggie says, kids born with CAE die of encephalitis before 4 months, and nothing can be done. Oh, my heavens. The test vaccines haven't worked. Bird viruses vary from state to state. Yep. So, I mean, I understand the rules they're doing. It's just it was just sort of interesting to read, all the drama on the chicken groups. And I just think like this is what people do is on Saturdays, they drive all over really Friday nights, they drive all over the state of Mississippi to go show off their big, beautiful chickens. Insert the word for the male chicken. And, some of these chickens are gorgeous. Also, I do like the eggs from, what is that one that's so beautiful? It's French. Something with an M. It'll come to me when I stop thinking about it. But they have, I think, copper-colored eggshells. Oh, they're so beautiful. And they just have the most beautiful feathers. These really sparkly, metallic-looking tail feathers. I'm like, why would you hunt wild birds to extinction when we've got all these fascinating, gorgeous chicken tail feathers? They just drop those tail feathers a couple times a year, or at least a few at a time. Why would you need to hunt birds to extinction when there are all these beautiful chickens, is all I'm saying. Yeah, I guess like my biggest issue with, hobby farming is the early hours. I'm just not a morning person. I wish I was. But in all these decades, it just hasn't happened yet. I can be up early, but I am not necessarily coherent or conscious that early. Yes, it is Moran's. Yes. Yes, Maggie, you're absolutely right. It's like I know something. They're so beautiful. I once just looked through an entire book of I swear it was just pretty pictures of chickens of all these breeds. Fascinated by all the variations in chickens. I think there's just one French one called Il Diablo or something, but I'm like, is that French? Anyway, it said it was French. And it's all black. The whole body's black. I think even most of them, the coxcomb is also black, but it has a red eye. It had these kind of interesting little feathers go. I'm like, they bred them for that. They bred them because it was funny looking. Maggie says, I am a morning person, but as a result, I want to fall asleep at 9 p.m. Laced wine dots are so pretty. I agree. They are gorgeous. I love so many of them. They're just so beautiful. But yeah, I think it was a Moran. There used to be a Moran in town when I lived closer to downtown. And I would usually pass this one house on my way to the video store every day. And sometimes they had a Moran rooster, and it would get out of their very nice backyard because they had like fenced, tall, high wooden fence, and it would get out and then it would just walk around on the corner. And I'm just like, oh, that chicken is so gorgeous. And he had such a long tail feathers. Oh, so beautiful. It just made me so happy on my way to work. Like, what a beautiful bird. I mean, he wasn't aggressive or anything. He was actually really nice. And I eventually ran into the owners at a yard sale. And I'm like, oh, you're the ones with the gorgeous chicken, the gorgeous rooster. And they're like, yes, he's not. I'm like, oh yeah, he's never like gotten aggressive with my car. I'm like, other chickens that I have met out in the country. I was like, he's just so beautiful. I just love seeing him. And I was like, have y'all ever considered like setting up some sort of window with a roost for him so I could just see him through the glass or something? And they're like, we've never thought about it, but we will look into it. And they did. They made him like a little like viewing area of their fence so he could watch the cars pass by on the corner. He was so gorgeous. I mean, I really couldn't see his tail feathers because his tail feathers were like 3 feet long or longer. I mean, they were amazing. But it was just nice to see. I love seeing people's pets that have a little viewing area in their fence so that they can view everything passing by. I mean, I know that it's so nice to just watch the cars pass, see what's going on. Okay. So here we are. It's time to measure again. We're getting close, y'all. Okay. All right, so I figure I need at least 2 more rows to cover that third card, and then the tail. Let's see. Looks like the tail. Maybe the tail will be about 8 more rows, so I've got at least 2 full-size rows, and then maybe I should do like 3 more rows, so there's a little bit of room. She says as she contemplates 4 rows. Let's do 4 full-size rows. And then I'll start reducing the rows to make the tail. That'd be nice. Yes. Sounds good. Let's try it and see what happens. Let's see. Yeah, Maggie says, oh, they look like Satan's chickens. Yeah, they do. They do, y'all. You should totally look up the like El Diablo chickens or something like that. Eva says same. I'm only just now getting to a point of staying up past 7 p.m. regular. Yes. Maggie says the all black ones are called I am Simani. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And Kat says, oh, you're making a Maggie? Yes, I'm making a Terra holder. I have been in and out, so didn't know what you're making. Yes. CB says, if I'm remembering this properly, it's been a while since I've watched it in Hannah Montana, the movie, when they go back to Crowley Corners, Tennessee. Let me get it a little bit better. The little table I have this on is starting to tilt forward. Crowley, Tennessee, Miley helps build a chicken coop or something. Have y'all seen some seriously cute chicken coops? Oh, I love it. People make chicken coops out of just about anything too. I love them when they look like little mini houses or little mini places. I once saw, and this is true in real life, I went to a garage sale. Someone's daddy had made, like, they were grown, married with children, and their daddy made them a Taj Mahal inspired chicken coop because apparently she had I don't know, prize winning chickens, and he was so proud of, like, we got 4-H around here. And I was just like, I saw this little mini Taj Mahal at the back of the yard. And I'm like, are y'all into like the Taj Mahal? Do you have like the 7 wonders? She's like, it's never occurred to me, but we should totally do that. I'm gonna tell my dad. He liked woodworking. I thought that was so cute. Let's see. Megan says my uncle turned an old chicken coop into his backyard into a little adult clubhouse. And Maggie says, I like Orpingtons and Cochins, but have a Faverolles rooster just because he's so pretty. Yep, can relate. Some of those chickens are so gorgeous. I've heard, is it Orpingtons that sometimes their legs, the little feathers right on their, is it ankles? I don't know what it is. But, on the bottom of their feet, they get wet and they can get sick from that. So, like, you got to keep them in drier areas. Maybe it's a different one I'm thinking of, not in Orpington. Yes, chicken towns are so much fun. I agree. I just think they're so cute. I love them. We, though, around here, we have hawks, and we actually have bald eagles down here. So, I mean, if you want to keep your chickens, you actually got to make the wire tops, unless you're willing to be out there the whole time your chickens are. I mean, because we've got the big bald eagles, because we've got these, I think they're called longleaf pines, that are 60 to 80 feet tall or more, and they're very thick, so they can actually handle the weight of a bald eagle. Turns out bald eagles are incredibly heavy. Who knew? They did not teach me that in school. I found out afterwards. Their what's heavy? What? I don't know. Oh, their nests are heavy. Oh, excuse me. Yes, their nests are heavy. I don't know. What are they putting up? Whole branches? It could be. It's so cool driving on the highway down here, especially in the summertime. Or spring and autumn, really, where you can see the bald eagles riding the the wind waves. What is it? There's actually where the convection, I don't know, something. And, like, they're so huge. Like, I mean, they are mythical big. They are apparently, I hope nobody's upset about this, but apparently they have really cut down on the feral cat population in Mississippi a lot. Apparently that's how they got so big. I mean, yikes. But I gather that's actually why so many bald eagles have settled in Mississippi, is because there's plenty of larger animals. So, yeah, they're very big and very healthy. And they like all the convection waves. Let's see, Maggie says all feather-footed chickens need dry fodder. Yep. I agree, CB. Bald eagles are amazing. Like, I really wish I could help everyone have an experience of driving along with like a bald eagle flying in front or flying kind of in front and near your car, because it's nice to be in a car because then you're not worried, because these things are so huge. They're like these mythical birds. I mean, they're definitely dangerous. Was that 2 rows? ADHD attacks again. Let's say it's 2 rows and I'm going to do at least 1 more. Oopsies. Where did I put my measuring tape? Do a measuring tape. Oh, past glory was taking care of me. Look, I am one of those measure twice. Okay, looks like it's about 18 and a half inches. About 5. So that's 10 inches. I'm going to get the calculator on my phone. Oh, wait, that's my phone. That doesn't work. Okay, so let's see. 10, 3.5 times 3 is 9, 10.5 plus 10 inches. Okay, so about 20.5 inches for the full size, the full mat. I don't know what you want to call it. And then probably I don't need that other half inch. So 20 inches. And then 8 rows of decreasing stitches on both sides. Okay.
Figure it out.
Yes. So I have 1.5 inches left. So that's 3 more rows. Since, yeah, each row is 1/2 inch. What? You need to show me your onion?
I was just kind of thought, I wonder if the bloomin' onion just came from a lazy cook. It's like, I don't have to finish dicing. I can just fry it.
Well, the way you get that to bloom is you soak it in cold water for an hour or 2.
Well, I just mean, like, I never see them do, that of where you cut it up before you cut the root.
He wants me to show.
Where, because they always talk about, slicing in half and then doing it level with the table. Doing 2 slices into the onion.
I've never heard of that. This is how I always heard to do it. All right, let me rephrase. This is how the people in Asia who were trained how to make blooming onions taught me how to do it, and that's all I know.
Well, that's just how I dice them. I mean,
that's how I do too, like for a blooming onion. I've only ever baked a blooming onion, though.
Oh, no, I was just talking about
because, Mom forbid us to have fried. Remember, she forbid me to deep fry.
Oh, no, I just meant dicing onions.
I cut in half so I have more stability.
Well, no, they'll cut it in half and finish dicing it, but no, they always talk about only first you cut in half and then you make 2 cuts parallel.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's like so much extra work.
We all find the ways with the knife skills. As long as you don't stab yourself or anyone else, I figure, it's a win.
I know. I'm so much better than our mother.
No comment. May she rest in peace.
And take all the bandages with her.
Exactly. Oh, y'all. Let's see. Maggie says, we have owls, hawks, eagles, coyote, and is that doggotes? Doggotes? It is why I will never own white poultry. Having white birds are like a giant sign on the prairie that says free food to predators. Yeah. Eva says, I fixed that entirely too quickly to not know what I'm doing. I'm not sure how to process this. Roll with it. Still works. That's nice. Okay, I'm gonna go paste for a minute. Be back soon. Onions. Yeah, it actually was a nice mild onion. Oh, it's nice. Yeah. But Maggie says, "Hi Tom, I have to go to the bus stop. Time to pick up the mignonette." I love the whole mignonette. Love it. Be blessed and lovely day. Okay, stabba. Yeah, bye Maggie. Stabba. Mom really did like.
Is that like what's his name? Tappa?
Yeah, only it's stabba. When Kat comes back again, I need to ask her what's she playing over there. I would love to check on Twitch on my laptop, but apparently my laptop's like we cannot run multiple Twitch tabs at once. This is so that's when my laptop starts freezing up. So I have to figure out what's going on with that. I only just found out yesterday. Stab. It's in my head now. It would make such a pretty scarf too, wouldn't it? So last night Tom found out and told me about there's an app that Louisiana hot sauce people make called the Crawfish app, and it tells you who's selling crawfish in your area and how much, both for live and boiled. I mean, I got to get some crawfish this year. I mean, I realize it's a plague, and it's not like I would eat it around other people, but it's like crawfish makes me so happy. Like, Gulf shrimp is genuinely delicious, but it is nothing compared to crawfish. Crawfish is so good. All right. Get ready, because I am going to actually break out my table. I have a little lap desk, so give me just a sec to start moving things around. Okay. It's quite long. Can you see? Like, it actually is a little bit longer than my lap desk. Okay. All right, y'all, let's figure this out. Okay, this looks good. Megan says, I've never had crawfish before. I'd love to try it someday, though. I love most seafood. If you like most seafood, or even honestly, if you just like shrimp and you don't mind a bit of spice, because like traditional crawfish boil is a bit spicy. Although there's ways, like some people make it more mild than others, but it's fine. Okay, so we are at a good place to start reducing. So, just gonna put it in here for now because I'm tired of I don't know. This thing is so tight. Okay. So, just for our own edification, it is at 19 inches and it's perfect. Yay! So, I'm so glad we did measure again. So now we need to start reducing. Now for the wiggle wiggle. Okay. Oh, good, Megan. Megan says, I'm from California. I love spice. Me too. I love spice. I love watching that YouTube show, with the wings, the First We Feast people. And they make celebrities, eat these wings in ever increasing amounts of heat. Yeah, I really like those. Okay. So now what we do, because we're going to actually reduce, is we slip stitch 1, 2, then chain 2, and then start the row as normal. And then on the other side of the row, 2 before, we're then going to do the same thing where we do the slip stitch. Well, actually, what would we do? We wouldn't do that. We would just stop and then turn and then do that again. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to make sure there's good light. This little tarot deck holder is turning out to be so pretty. Okay, so you see we started here. And this is where we are now. And then I'm going to turn here instead of finishing up. And then what I'm going to do is the same thing again, where I slip stitch 2. Let me think about how I want to do this. Oh, I know what to do. Okay, I'm just gonna undo it all. Ha 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 ha. I know how I want to do this. Okay. Okay, so we are back at that row. And I'm going to chain 2, like we're just starting a normal row. Double crochet, okay. And then and then I go into 2. Did you catch it? So I did a reduction stitch. And then I'm going to do it normal the rest of the row except for the last 3 stitches, where I'll do another reduction stitch and then a normal stitch. And that way it'll be a nice smooth tail. Eva's killing me. Oh, that's better. It's not actually working. Oh, Eva. Okay. So then here we are. 1, 2, and then I pull through 3, and then pull through 2. And there it is. And then back to the normal stitch. Okay. So now if you look, it's a little hard to see, but it's a little bit kind of gathered here. So watch. Okay. That's 1. Okay, and then we're going to chain 2. Stitch normal. And then we're going to do that thing again with the reduction stitch. Pull through 3, pull through 2. And then back to normal. Oops. Eva says, if this were my final exam, I'd get a C. Luckily, it's not. Exactly. Just keep playing around. You'll figure it out eventually. Goodness knows that's what I did. I used to make databases in my early 20s. Okay, now we slow down and we do 1, and then in the next stitch, same, and then pull through 3, pull through 2. And then the last stitch is a normal kind of stitch. Okay, so let me try to do it. So if you look, now you can start seeing how it's pulling in. And it's not that it's like pulling, but it's just, see, it's reducing. So we're going to do it again. Eva says, yeah, it's just figuring out what I didn't do already that I thought I had done. Or option B, I don't know the issue because it's new, but I don't think this is a new one, LOL. Anywho, I'm going to take a music break and then be back. Okay. I think what I'm going to do for this next row is, instead of doing just 2 sets, well, a set, 1 reduction stitch on each end, I'm going to do 2 reduction stitches on each end so that it's getting smaller faster, because that's 2 rows and it's not quite as much as I wanted. So regular stitch, and then 1 reduction, and then another reduction, and then normal, one, two, three, four, 5, 1 more, and then reduction stitch, and another one. And the last one's normal. So now you can see that it's reducing. Okay, yeah, that looks better. Okay, chain 2, regular double crochet, and then we're going to do 2 sets of reduction stitches. Okay, so now we do 2 regular stitches. Oh, you can see it now, huh? I think that last one was a little tight, so I'm going to undo it. Maybe just do 1 set of reduction stitch. Just counting how many regular stitches I need to do. Yeah, I like that better because it lays flatter. I didn't want it to gather or ripple. And then we flip. Chain 2. We're just going to do 1 set of reduction. All right. So here we are with the tail. It's looking really nice. Chain 2. And then a reduction. And And now we're already doing another reduction. Regular. Like that. And then I think I'm just going to do a regular row. Actually, first I'm going to hydrate. All right. How is everyone doing? Honestly, this reminds me of crocheted towels, kitchen towels I've seen, where the tail you can fold over and you button so you can like hang it on a little rack in the kitchen. Yeah, it really looks like it now. Like those, I don't know if anyone ever saw those kitchen towels. Like I used to see them as a kid. Like if I just kept going, I would be able to like actually make a loop and then just sew a big button here and then just loop it in. Megan says, I'm doing pretty good, struggling to find jobs in my area, but other than that, things are good. Yeah. That is very tough. Megan, if I can ask, if you don't mind me asking, what is your, normal line of work? Megan says, I don't really have a normal line of work. I'm looking for entry-level jobs that don't require a college education. I used to do marketing. Well, let's see. There's always libraries. I mean, I guess it depends on what you want to do.
I mean, I wonder if that background research company is still going. Remember, it's located there.
Good question. I don't know.
Because, I know her sister didn't have a degree at the time.
That's true. All right. Now I'm just going to do a slip stitch. Wait. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain. So that I have a tie. Megan says the libraries around here aren't hiring, and last time I checked, they required a degree. Ugh. No comment. This whole trend of requiring a degree for entry level jobs that do not need a degree is just gatekeeping. I do not have good opinions about that. Like, it shows very much a lack of competency at the top leadership level of that's how they're weeding people out, is essentially requiring people to be overqualified and underpaid. It does not speak well to people who respect the people who work for them. That was about long enough. Okay. Well, yes, I am wearing lounge pants with coffee cups on them. Hi, Charlie. I was just thinking about you. I must have psychically known. All right. Is this the one? This is not the one I wanted. All right. Again. This is the one I wanted. If you've been watching WandaVision, I have the latest episodes. New theme song stuck in my head. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now. Well, WandaVision has this one, like a lot of their theme songs are really great. I think so. Anyway. Some of the theme songs are very catchy. There is a current theme song that came out that everybody's doing remixes of from WandaVision. And that's why I keep thinking about it. Let's see. CB says I bought myself a new Marvel shirt. And it arrived today. It's one of the Team Stark ones from when Civil War came out. Oh, that's cool. Megan says I've seen. She was talking about WandaVision. And CB says I now have 6 Marvel shirts. No, it's 7 actually. I forgot about the one from Primark. And Megan says I now have 3 book theme shirts, and it delights me. Oh, that's awesome. It's so nice to have clothes we like to wear. One of the things I like about the weaving in the ends in crochet is I've been hand sewing since I was a kid. The thing I didn't like about hand sewing is I have a tendency to poke myself, usually in the fingers. And with crochet needles, you don't need a sharp needle to do this since the yarn is loose. And so it's like, yay, I don't have to worry about drawing blood. All right, y'all. I think this needs a second one of this tail. So I'm going to give it one because I can. Ooh, I have an idea. Okay. What are we talking about? Oh, we're still. Okay, let's see. Quite a few marble shirts. One for each day of the week. Yes, I agree. Stevie's got one for each day of the week. I know I've also got 3 Batman shirts. One is plain black, and it looks like there's not a design on it, but if you look closely, there's the outline of the Bat logo. That's neat. I have one that has the Bat logo in black and yellow, and then there's the one I bought in Dublin, which has the Bat logo in green, white, and gold, which means I can't wear it in Glasgow. Yes. Tom says, so tired from chopping veggies and tending the soup, must take a break. He says, my dog is barking in her sleep. It's so cute. Oh, I love when they do that. Stevie says, I will take it to New York with me next year. I love when they're like, woof, woof, like, go chase those squirrels. Go get them. It's been a long day, hasn't it? Or is it just me? Okay, now I'm going to do twice as many as this. Boop, 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 boop. Let's see. Yes, it definitely has. The day has flown by for me. Yep. So, Kat, what game have you been playing? Or games? A little bit more. Kat says, I say as I mute this video to get back on Meta's stream. CV says, I also have a NaNoWriMo t-shirt from 2019. Probably going to wear that one flying to New York. That's cool. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is weave the ends in here back into the chain. Well, Emma. Let me think. Okay. I mean, I feel like I feel confident in saying that this tarot deck will never go cold. Well, we've got the Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. It may be time to keep moving these. We need to get shoveled a bit more. But let's see. What does it say about pentacles? Okay. All right, so the first one we pulled was the Nine of Pentacles. Let's see. You know those moments when everything feels a little bit brighter. You are reading one of those moments, a culmination of hard work and desire, when you will be stepping into your manifested hopes. These moments of spiritual and material bliss are highly personal and serve as funnels of glowing success. Look for this feeling as it surges into your heart and use its power to move mountains, spread love, and enjoy your harvest. Go ahead and bask. You deserve it. Spending some time alone will help you to process your progress. Then celebrate. In shadow, this card suggests that you may be working too hard and not seeing enough in return. Examine feelings of self-worth and look at your energy balance in and out. The rewards must always equal your energy expenditure, and if you sense an imbalance, then it's time to make amends. The harmony and harvest you seek are in front of you now. Enjoy the bliss and abundance that we have sown. I did. I finished it. It's all here. I guess technically I didn't lay them quite in the right. This is supposed to how we're supposed to, according to. Okay. So number 2. No, that's number 2. Illumination. This card represents the energy needed for the best possible outcome, and that's the 10 of Pentacles. So, oh baby, this is the big one. All the love, abundance, and joy that you can muster in your heart. It's coming your way, and it's coming fast. It's time to prepare for its inevitable arrival and to commit to your long-term success. This energy is so big, in fact, that you should be prepared to spread some of it around generously. Bring an abundance of positive energy into your life and watch everything shift. Expect the arrival of success, happiness, and an upbeat and loving community as avenues widen and the right connections click into place. Remember that perceptions change. You are one small move away from seeing the bigger picture and from unearthing a legacy of pentacles that is already yours. You deserve the success and love. Taste the pleasure of life and embody a state of consciousness that says, yes, I am worthy of all this success. I am successful and I share my wealth with those I love. Oh, y'all. And then the Shadow Seer. What shadows need to be cleared before the situation can be resolved? That is number 8. 8 of Pentacles. The Shadow Seer, seeking shortcuts to your detriment, burning out or giving up. Sporadic output and inexperience. Well, I mean, it makes sense that in order to have good things come, you need to address the shortcuts, seeking shortcuts that are to our detriment, and burning out or giving up, sporadic output and inexperience. Yes, that does make sense. Well, it's kind of an interesting layout there. Okay. So here is the finished baby. Wait, where? Oh, how about I switch? Okay. Okay. Here it is with its pocket. And I decided I liked 3, so I put 3 chains. Although I'm going to just say it. I mean, it's 3 chains, and what I will inevitably do is braid it. Because I like braiding. I mean, who doesn't like, hello, sweet babies. Y'all, this chicken soup Tom's working on smells so good. It's so hard to concentrate. Let's see. I did. Thanks, Eva. CB says new Spider-Man movie comes out December 17th. Very nice. Just a loose little braid because we can. So here it is in its pocket. My tarot cards will never get cold. There it is. All done. We did that. Here it is. Because, I mean, let's be brutally honest here. Nobody wants cold tarot deck, right? All right. So, putting my crochet away. All right. Two glory cams. Oh no, what are we going to do? I have an idea. There we go. Now my phone functions as a phone again. Revolutionary. All right. Well, I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming. I am going to be appearing on Stephanie's stream later today. I think it's going to start, 8 p.m. my time. So 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. I want to say it's 6 p.m. What a great way. I could actually, I don't know, go check. Come on, Steph. Loading. I was hoping Steph had set up a thing for it. Oh, there, she has. Okay. Let's see. Oops. No churches went with Japanese. Oh, Japanese sounds so good. That sounds so yummy. Yes, Stephanie's stream is going to start at 6 p.m. Pacific, so 6, 7, 8, 9 p.m. Eastern. Ooh, it's already 2:08. Is it already 2 a.m. CB where you are? I would have thought midnight. Maybe my math's off again. Anyway, so we're going to do productivity sprints on Stephanie's stream in a little less than 2 hours. And that way I will have time to eat. So, thank you for coming. And if you have an idea, a small project about crocheting, I was thinking next week maybe we'll do the purple headband. And I mean, yeah, definitely the purple hairband. But if anybody has any ideas, please feel free to send it to me. It doesn't mean it's necessarily in my wheelhouse, but I'll definitely look at any ideas. But anyhow, thanks so much for coming. And then next Monday, we're going to do our usual stream, Awkward Sibling Hour, at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, on autism and home training and coping skills. Because, yes, hello, let's share some coping skills. how to deal with this world. Anyhow, thanks for coming, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.